Hello and good morning, everybody, and welcome to Go F.O.C. Yourself. My name is Brandon Schatz. I am a co-owner of Variant Edition Comics up here in Edmonton. And today we are going over the final order cutoffs. We're going to talk a little bit off the top about the Substack stuff because there's a lot of big creators going off to Substack. And from the sounds of it, more and more to be announced in the coming weeks. Many weeks, according to Scott Snyder. It's some pretty freaking big news. And I know a lot of folks out there are worried, like, what's this going to do to our content? This is basically a way to subsidize content for creators. That is a very positive way for them to engage with the industry. They get to keep their rights and produce content that will eventually make it to comic stores. Pretty win-win, in my opinion. If you have other ideas, definitely put them in the comments. As always, we have some rules, though, of course. First rule is stories first, collecting second. So everything we talk about here is going to come from a story point first and a collecting point second. So if you want your good spec picks, you're going to want to go somewhere else. They're everywhere online, so it should be okay. Second, helpful information is always welcome. Feel free to share. Feel free to comment. As long as we're being constructive, this is a good forum for it. I am very happy to pop those on the screen. Any unhelpful information will not be acknowledged unless you address me as Comics Daddy, and maybe not even then. So if you're just dicking around and being a ding-dong, I'm not going to put that up there unless, possibly, you call me Comics Daddy. And also, rule number 4, don't be a ding-dong. We're all going to get along just fine. If you ever want to comment on anything that you want on a future show, you can try sending it to bshots@variantedmonton.com. I'll take a look at it. I'll respond to you in general and possibly address some stuff on the air. So I hope that you all are doing well. I know it's free comic book day tomorrow, and I know everywhere is going to vary on how we're going to be approaching this year's free comic book day. I know we ordered very light with the idea that we probably shouldn't have people here. And the sad part is that that's going to pay off because gatherings shouldn't really be happening up here right now. The Delta variant is taken off here in Alberta, and Alberta is acting a fool for the most part. So that really sucks. It's really sad not to have a really big free comic book day, but we do have some positive news in that we were able to have this event outdoors. And we're also encouraging people to essentially pre-order your free comic book day books. You don't have to be there touching up on all the books. We give you the opportunity to stake your claim on the product that you want. We'll put them aside for you, and you can pick them up on free comic book day or a little bit afterwards. It's just not conscionable, in my opinion, in my area, to run free comic book day like we used to. And hopefully going forward that changes, but it is what it is right now. The days, they are wild. But with that, we'll get straight to some of these final order cutoffs. Kicking things off with the diamond orders. Diamond orders are due on Monday for retailers, but your retailer, if you're a customer, might have different days or times to get those orders in, so that they can kind of finalize those and get them out to Diamond instead of scrambling at the last minute. Very important. All right, so final order cutoffs. The Haha trade is coming out, this weird horror clown anthology. That is really, really awesome. Folks absolutely devoured it. It was really cool to see. The Me You Love in the Dark is getting a second printing. And there is an incentive cover for this one that a lot of places will not be getting because it's a fair bit. But if you missed out on the first issue, you can get cop that right before issue 2 comes out, which is very exciting for folks. Dark Horse has the first volume of Hellbound coming out. One day you will receive a message from an unknown sender. The message will only include your name, the fact that you are going to hell, and the time that you have left to live. When the time counts down to 0, supernatural beings manifest to condemn you to hell, and amid social chaos and increasing hysteria, the people must find a way to survive this inexplicable terror. From Yang Sang-ho, director of the international hit and cult favorite film Train to Busan, and cartoonist Chao Gyu-sok, creator of the acclaimed webtoon Songot. This is available for the first time in English. May's book is coming out from Dark Horse. This is the next Jeff Lemire total package book where he's doing the art and the writing. Comes this ambitious and haunting comic series about family, mourning, and reality. A lonely building inspector still grieves the loss of his puzzle-loving daughter, receives a mysterious phone call one night from a girl claiming it's her and that she's trapped in the middle of a labyrinth. Convinced that this child is contacting him from beyond, or that his child is contacting him from beyond this world, he uses an unfinished maze from one of her journals and a map of the city to trace an intricate path through the different planes of reality on an intense and melancholy adventure to bring his daughter back home. It's a nice oversized first issue for y'all. It's also Rewild. Fables meets The Fisher King in this new original graphic novel from acclaimed comics writer and novelist Devin Grayson, with breathtaking illustrative art from the rising star Yana Adamovic. Poe is a dangerous young homeless woman with self-proclaimed fairy changeling. Demond is an enterprising engineer with a troubled past. When Poe demands that a park be built to mollify a dangerous new mutation of mythical creatures ravaged by climate change and furious with the human race, Demond must question not only his own sanity, but the rationality of our entire species as he struggles to save his city and maybe even the world. But are we past the point of no return? Magical realism that packs environmental punch. Something that is really hitting the core right now with that news out there from the UN committee that popped out there. I know a lot of that was sort of well-known news, but just sort of put in a context that people are really keying into. It's a lot. Star Trek Mirror War number 0 from the Tiptons and Carlos Nieto. Get caught up with the Mirror Universe D before its crew, helmed by Jean-Luc Picard, faces new threats and challenges in the upcoming Mirror War event. Following the failure of an attempt to steal ships from the Prime Universe, Picard and the Mirror crew are called back to Earth to report to the Emperor personally, so long as they can survive the trip. This is part of a cool series of books where dickbag Enterprise version people do dickbag things. It's a lot of fun. And I know folks out there are going to be excited. The last run of number 4 is coming out. These happen quarterly at best, I think. So very important for folks to know when those are coming out. Conan the Barbarian hits issue number 25. There has not been an issue solicited past this, so this might be a wrap-up for this current arc. We'll have to see. But it is definitely oversized with many much covers. The Extreme Carnage event continues with Toxin. I believe this is the 5th or 6th part. Toxin Returns. Bren Waters, the new host of Toxin, enters the fray. Will he be enough to turn the tide? Who knows? You might when you buy this book. Khazar, Lord of the Savage Land. There's been a lot of low-level buzz about this. I would highly recommend folks do some due diligence, search around the internet for a lot of what's been said about this. Khazar is back from the dead with a whole new terrifying set of powers. The alien Katati murdered him. The Savage Land brought him back. Lord Plunder has returned with a vastly new perspective. Now united with Shanna the She-Devil in a mystical merging of life energies, Khazar has new abilities, new needs, and new enemies. An ancient evil has surfaced in the Savage Land, one that is rapidly reshaping the Forgotten World and its inhabitants. Khazar and Shanna must fight together to protect their home and family, but their son Matthew has plans of his own. Don't miss a spectacular adventure through the Lost Lands by Zach Thompson and Herman Garcia. Y'all are wild with your fun little changes. Diamond. Star Wars High Republic number 7 is getting a second printing, as well as the Bounty Hunter Jabba the Hutt. I have some folks asking about those specifically, if there's images for them. Turns out they're not up. So that's always fun. This might be a fairly quick one today, which is nice because I'm sleepy. Army of Darkness, 1979. Dare we say it? Yes, we dare. Ash is back, baby. After his most recent appearances in Dynamite Lives, Ashley Williams is retired, settled down, haunted by the Deadites and the Necronomicon. No more. But wait, no, that ain't right. None of it's true. In fact, not only is Ash still haunted by the Deadites and the Necronomicon, but he's haunted by both of them in the 1970s. Kids, ask your parents. Parents, ask yourselves. And what does he find in the South Bronx in the late 1970s? Gangs. And what have those gangs found? The Necronomicon. So what does that make the gangs? Badass. Dynamite proudly presents a brand new Army of Darkness series written by Rodney Barnes of Philadelphia fame and drawn by Tom Garcia, and featuring an awesome array of cover artists, because everybody gets a lot of covers at Dynamite, baby. The Last Witch is getting the graphic novel treatment. I'm very excited about this because it was a wonderful story. When the witch known as Kaliach hunts the children of the village of Cersei, a brave, reckless young girl will defy her father and discover the secrets of the witch's tower. But when the Kaliach captures Cersei, I'm not doing that right, and her brother Bram, their lives are forever changed in ways they never expected. Now Cersei, I gotta keep saying that, will have to save everyone she loves by discovering the truth and the mysterious mark on her shoulder and embracing her magical secret powers. Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, Halloween Spectacular has some spooky tales for y'all. Barbaric is getting a third printing, and number 2 is getting a deluxe black and white edition. Looks like they're going to be doing that with these going forward, which is very interesting. We've got Deadbox number 1 here. Very excited about that. From Mark Russell. Welcome to the town of Lost Turkey, where the main source of entertainment is a cursed DVD machine that seems to know more about its fate of the citizens than they do. I believe we might have talked about this last week. This is looks like a relisting, so be aware of that. But Deadbox sounds awesome and delightful. No, wait, this might actually just be an error. I think Deadbox is coming out really soon, because I doubt that these are hitting on the same day. It says they are, but good job, Diamond. You're killing it, as always, you weirdos. He who fights with monsters. On All Hallows Eve, a community struggles under the boot of a Nazi war machine when supernatural forces come to play a part in the conflict. From the artist of the best-selling Something is Killing the Children comes a Halloween tale that will send shivers down your spine. It's World War II, and the struggle between good and evil is in full force. In Prague, the great Bohemian city is being oppressed by the Nazi occupation, and the population lives in terror, while the resistance forces try to organize themselves in the shadows. It is almost an impossible task, with the ruthless SS threatening their grip on every street and neighborhood with overwhelming might. Only one hope feeds the struggle, a crazy hope, which rests on the fragile foundations of an ancient, monstrous legend. Very excited for the complete collections of Hollow Heart and I Walk with Monsters to come out, as well as the Knock 'em Dead collection. Hollow Heart is a beautiful sci-fi love story that will break your heart. I Walk with Monsters is definitely a darker horror tinged series. It follows a young woman who, walks with monsters to sort of take revenge on some of her past lives. In JC's past, the most important man who took away her brother. In JC's past is the important man who took away her brother. Now JC has David, who sometimes transforms into a terrifying beast. Together, they've found a way to live and to hunt, sniffing out men who prey on the vulnerable. But JC and David are about to run into the important man again. From Paul Cornell and Sally Cantrino comes a haunting story about the monsters that walk beside us all and sometimes lurk within. And I'm Dead from Elliot Rahal and Mattia Monaco. Sometimes you kill and sometimes you get killed, but no matter what, everyone dies the first time they go on stage. Prior Bryce has always wanted to be funny, and now he's taken the plunge and started doing stand-up comedy. Unfortunately, his older sister Ronan wants her brother to stop daydreaming and focus on his future. Prior is determined to succeed, though. The only problem is he totally sucks at stand-up. That is, until an accident changes everything, leading both Prior and Ronan to discover that comedy isn't all it's cracked up to be. It could kill you. Second printing of The Last Book You'll Ever Read is coming out along with issue 2. Very excited about that for you folks. On Tyranny, which I'm very excited about. And excited to see on a final order cutoff. That's a little surprising, but still. A graphic edition of historian Timothy Snyder's best-selling book of lessons for surviving and resisting America's arc towards authoritarianism, featuring the visual storytelling talents of renowned illustrator Nora Krung. It uses the darkest moments in the 20th century history, from Nazism to communism, to teach 20 lessons on resisting modern-day authoritarianism. Among the 20 include a warning to be aware of how symbols used today could affect tomorrow, and an urgent reminder to research everything for yourself and to the fullest extent, and a point to use personalized and individualized speech rather than cliched phrases for the sake of mass appeal, and a whole lot more. In this graphic edition, Nora Krug draws from her highly inventive art style, belonging at once a graphic novel, at collage-style scrapbook, historical narrative, and a trove of me? Diamond. Well, there's a lot of stuff from Vault Hidden Stands. Rockstars gets the full complete collection edition. This came out from Image, did not complete at Image, and now is actually completing in this graphic novel form for those of you who missed out on that ending. They sold their souls for rock and roll. Rock fan Jackie Mayer possesses an uncanny, almost unearthly talent. He's able to connect the legends, secrets, curses, whispers, mysteries, and conspiracies in the music world. He knows musicians' hunger for fame and fortune, making them easy marks. When the music scene murders start happening again, Jackie is ready. He knows the secrets of the past, or at least he thinks he does. But the gods of rock are darker than he thought, and the conspiracy he uncovers is more insidious than he would have ever imagined. Jackie is drawn into the underbelly of the music world, and he's going to have a devil of a time coming out alive. Music, murder, magic, and mayhem. and Scout's Honor, one that Danica very much enjoyed. Years after a nuclear apocalypse, a new society has risen from the ashes, and their Bible is an old Ranger Scout manual. A young Ranger Scout named Kit has endured the harsh survivalist upbringing needed to conquer the irradiated Colorado Badlands. But after discovering a terrible secret once lost to history, Kit must risk everything on a dangerous quest to uncover the truth behind the Ranger Scouts doctrine. From multiple Ringo Award-nominated writer David Pepose and artist Luca Casalalguina comes a post-apocalyptic coming of age tale that proves when all you know is a lie, a Scout's honor is the only way to move forward. Search for Who from Aftershock. Aaron Say lives for his family, and if he's not careful, he'll die for its secrets. When he left the military, Aaron's first thought was providing for his aging parents. His parents' spar is experiencing hard times, and one night it's shot to hell, but his parents critically injured in the attack. But this is no ordinary robbery. Aaron's mother reveals that she fled China to escape the blood feud between the Jewish and Chinese sides of her family, both of which are powerful, organized crime families. Peace existed between these two families, the Hu and the Margulis, but now it's been broken, and Aaron must protect his parents from further violence. Aaron hops a plane to the homeland he never intended to explore on a path of revenge he never wanted to walk. Written by John Sui and Steve Orlando, and drawn by artist sensation Rubin. Search for Who is a fast-paced, action-packed exploration of complex cultural histories powered by a bloody family feud. And that's that batch right there. We're going to pivot over to some lunar stuff. The first batch, as always, is going to feature the items that are due for folks who are lunar customers on Sunday. And then we're going to pivot over to lunar customers on Sunday. And then we're going to pivot over to universal stuff, which will be due on Thursday. That is another batch of items. So as you can see here, Fear State starts in earnest with this Batman series. It will be James Tynan's wrap up of his Batman stuff as of November. Batman Urban Legends #7 hits. This one features all future Batman stories, including some new Batman Beyond. It's going to be very exciting. Black Manta #1 is happening from Chuck Brown and Valentine Delandro. Following his appearance in Aquaman's 80th anniversary, The Scourge of the Seas now gets his own series. Black Manta is chasing a rare metal with incredible powers, and he's not the only one who wants to get his hands on it. Friend and foe alike. Tord is a former ally who has escaped hell, literally, to answer the call of the metal. But can Manta trust her? Hopefully so, because he needs her to help fend off Devil Ray, a new competitor for the role of the biggest villain underwater. Both Aquaman The Becoming #1 and Black Manta #1 feature a connecting cover by Francis Manapul. It is a 1 for 25 though, so enjoy that. You dorks. I hate it when they do things like that. Hey, get this thing. If you can. Canopus Helen wakes up marooned on a lifeless alien planet 300 light years from Earth with no memories beyond a hazy sense of extinction-level urgency to return to Earth. Joined by Arthur, her strange robot companion, she explores the planet to find materials necessary to help repair her ship. However, circumstances are not as straightforward as they seem. Along the way, Helen's most painful memories return as monstrous manifestations are hellbent on her destruction. The Inferior 5 volume is coming out. This collects a couple issues that were not in print from Keith Giffen and Jeff Lemire, who works on a backup story in this The citizens of Dangerfield, Arizona are beset by strange goings-on after the invasion that rocked the DC universe, but only 5 misfit kids seem to notice them. Can they uncover what's happening before some sinister force collects them all? Also, the Peacemaker is on a top-secret mission from Checkmate and Amanda Waller to find a mysterious weapon before the Russians can. Out of the Cadillacs, number 1, in the spirit of Lost Boys and Warriors, and Out of the Cadillacs is a high-octane, genre-bending mix of horror, hard action, forbidden love, and street culture. Rival supernatural gangs come to Earth on an overnight raiding mission to retrieve life-restoring blood from humans. While the gangs battle amongst themselves for prized captives, a defiant and charismatic gangbanger breaks free from his crew to go on the run with a rebellious 18-year-old human girl to protect her from his predatory family. There's also the collected edition of The Other History of the DC Universe from John Ridley and Giuseppe Camicoli. Gorgeous series about the history of the DC Universe from minority perspectives. The second printing of Superman Son of Kal-El is coming out for folks who missed out on that first printing. And that is it for this week's stuff. Let's go hop over to what's due from Universal. Universal is where we get our DC products from. And we love them because from what I keep hearing about Lunar sounds a little bit like a nightmare. And Universal has been nothing but exemplary throughout just everything in general. So that's been good. A Deathstroke Incorporated and number 1 is coming out. After suffering too many losses, Slade Wilson decides it's time for a change. When he's enlisted to work with the ages-old secret organization called Trust, who want to take down heavy-hitter villains, he's all in. They'll supply him with an all-new team and resources for his new mission to go into the depths of the weirdest parts of the DCU, including a new partner, Black Canary. Wait, what? Enjoy explosions, kick-ass action, and new outrageous adventures as DC's meanest SOB gets tangled up in a major mystery building in the shadows of the DC universe. Sasufi. Far Sector's getting a collection finally. Whoop, very excited about that. From N.K. Jemisin and Jamal Campbell, this takes place way at the edges of DC space, and N.K. Jemisin builds and Jamal Campbell build these incredible new races and societies, and it's just, this book is something else, and I'm very excited that this will be in people's hands soon. The Harley Quinn animated series Eat, Bang, Kill Tour features T. Franklin and Max Sarin from Giant Days. It is a spinoff from the Harley Quinn animated TV series show. Following the wedding disaster of the decade, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy end up on the run from Commissioner Gordon and the GCPD. But as fun as that all sounds, Ivy still worries over leaving Kite Man at the altar. And luckily, Harley's got the perfect scheme to shake her out of her wedding day blues. Smooching? It might be smooching. I hope it's smooching. I Am Batman number 1. First full issue of the new Batman series from John Ridley with Olivier Coipel on art for this issue. In the throes of the future state, the streets of Gotham City cry for justice, and Jace Fox answers the call with a new and improved Batsuit. Jace hits the streets to inspire and protect. And as he follows the trail of the voice of misinformation and violence, the anarchistic anti-Oracle, can the new Dark Knight counterbalance their plan to inspire armed rebellion in the citizens of Gotham? Can one man inspire a city? Well, can they? It's a big question. The Impure. When Castor, Homeworld, to the siblings Nero and Minerva, is destroyed by aliens, they decide to join the dreaded Impure, living weapons who are created by merging elite soldiers with godlike beings. When Minerva unexpectedly betrays her brother and all that they have ever believed in, it is up to Nero to stop his sister before she reaches the alien alliance. Can he stop her before what she stole can turn the tides of war and spell humanity's downfall? Question mark. The Lock and Key Sandman crossover number 2 will be coming out very soon. The final order cutoff for that is this week. I don't know, some people who've been asking for that. Solar Flare. Solar Flare is a post-apocalyptic science fiction drama containing aspects of suspense and action genres as told through a journey, story, plot construct. Thank you. It is a story. I'm sorry. That's a bad... Take out that sentence. My friends, take out that sentence. In this tale, where the world is exposed not in the light of day, but the cover of darkness, Solar Flare aims to showcase themes of perspective, resilience, and unlikely heroes through the portrayal of unbelievable characters placed in unbelievable circumstances. Solar Flare's unique backdrop, the Aurora Borealis, similar to the Northern Lights. That was what the Northern Lights is. This solicit is not good. It could be a really good story. I'm sorry, the solicit is not good. Sets the comic apart with its visual aspects department as well, unearthing a never before seen constant sky that is both visually pleasing and completely plausible in our current reality. So here's some problems with the solicit. Don't need the first sentence, whatever. That basically says Solar Flare is a story. Thank you. Aims to showcase these themes. Cool. What is this story about? Who is it about? Themes can be gleaned from reading. You can imply them. There's nothing in this solicit that tells me about the story itself, other than it's sci-fi and someone likes the Northern Lights, which are Aurora Borealis. Just tell me what the story is. This doesn't tell me anything about this book. Constructive? I hope that was constructive. Soulstream is an all-ages fantasy superhero comic book series about a team of magic welding teenagers fighting to save a ravaged dimension. Marie is reluctantly enduring a hike through the woods with her brother when they discover a mysterious portal and cross into another dimension, one devastated by war. The mage goddess contacts her, giving Marie the ocean bracelet, a magical item that imbues her with the power to transform into the superhero Soulstream. With her newfound powers and the help of her friends, Marie embarks on a quest to save the shattered world. That is a solicit. I don't mean to be mean, but that solicit was really bad. The Titans face their greatest challenge, their own powers. Nightwing, Donna Troy, Superboy, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Red Hood kick off a thrilling new case that will lead one of their own to question not only their place on the team, but their very existence. If we're ranking how solicits go, midpoint. I know the characters that are in here, but I can kind of see that by the cover a little bit. Yeah. When you're doing a solicit, you kind of want to invoke a why. Why are we buying this? As a retailer, that's what I need to know because I need that to sell to my audience. Titans is a good start. That will get me a certain amount of crowd. But why would somebody else want to read this book? A thrilling new case that will lead somebody on the team to question their motives. If somebody doesn't like the Titans, that doesn't sell it at all. So there's better ways to kind of go about getting this information out there. I wonder if I should do more critique on the final order cutoff. I know this is about giving out information, but maybe in another venue. We'll see. That's everything from Lunar here. We also have some stuff that is due this Monday from the fine folks at Pingwing Random House. Now, something to look out for is looking at the multiple catalogs. In The June catalog, there is still some stuff to get out there, including Black Knight, Curse of the Ebony Blade, which people loved, by the way. Cy Spurrier definitely killing it on that book. As you can see here, it's listed in Canadian prices because we're in Canada. That's how we secretly pronounce it. And we've all been laughing at you. Not really. I'm going to take a nap after this because I'm feeling weird. But that's a good series. Be aware of that, because if you did not check your June catalog, you will have missed it, because the bulk is in July. There is an August catalog as well up, but nothing is due on that one until the 30th, and that's the newest Marvel Previews book. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, including the Batman Black and White collection. Nice oversized hardcover in Canadian. It is going to be a hefty price to pay. Batman the World, original graphic novel featuring tales from different creators all around the world. We've talked about this on previous Lunar orders, but we ain't doing this with Lunar. We're doing this with Penguin Random House. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different storytellers here. I'm very excited about this in particular. I'm remembering to click back and not to X out, as I do with everything else that pops up on here, because otherwise I can't go back to this page. Although I think maybe I should just try and pop them up into their own pages, because it does take a while to reload this year. The Fourth World by Jack Kirby Omnibus gets a new printing that folks should be aware of. I know we sold quite a few here. I really dig Pizza, a mystery. I'm sorry. Can this pop out? It probably can. I'm just probably clicking the wrong buttons because I think I need a nap. Yeah. I love all the new all ages stuff that's coming out. They're very exciting. What formats we got here? Ebooks. When Archie stumbles upon a gift-wrapped pizza in the forest, he wonders who would possibly leave a perfectly good treat just lying around. So he does the only sensible thing and buries it so he can dig it up later for dinner. But with tummy rumbling, Archie discovers Reddy is trying to solve a mystery. It seems she's found a pile of dirt and wants to get to the bottom of it. Will Archie attempt to derail her investigation? You bet! But will he also ultimately fess up and share the cheesy goodness with Reddy? And who left that present in the forest anyways? It's all a mystery, and you'll have to read to find out what happens. It's a cool thing that Penguin Random House does. You can get some high-res images on your website of the books that they have to offer. We're having a grand old time stocking up on our all ages section. It's what the kids want. They want stories that fit in their hands. They're meant for them. It's really fun. Come on, penguin. Oh, there we are. The Last Kids on Earth has been really big. If y'all haven't been getting that into your stores, you definitely should. Unearthed is out also from DC. It is a Jessica Cruz story. It is probably one of the books that I'm looking most forward to, if I'm remembering the solicitation properly. I know we've probably talked about this in the past on Lunar. Penguin Random House doesn't have such a long deadline for orders, which I love. Jessica Cruz has done everything right. She's a dedicated student, popular among her classmates, and has a loving family that has done everything they can to give her a better life in the United States. While Jessica is part of the Deferred Action of Childhood Arrivals program, allowing her to go to school and live in the US, her parents are undocumented. Jessica usually worries for her parents, but her fears and anxieties escalate as a mayoral candidate with a strong anti-immigration stance runs for office. As the xenophobia in Coast City increases, Jessica begins to debate whether it's worth renewing her status to stay in the US or if her family would be safer and better off moving back to Mexico. And despite her attempts to lean on her friends and family, she finds herself constantly visited by visions of Aztec gods, one pulling her towards hope and the other towards anger. But when her father is detained by ice, Jessica finds herself being pulled into the abyss of fear. With her father gone and feeling helpless, Jessica must find her way out of her fears and ultimately become a voice for her community. Some well-needed storytelling for these days and for people experiencing a lot of that kind of stuff. As always, if that doesn't appeal to you, it might not even be meant for you. So, y'all can calm the heck down. Penguin! There we go. Apparently yelling at the computer helps because things start happening. I will admit we do not talk a whole lot about manga here. There are so many better sources for that. I would just basically make a fool of myself talking about a lot of it. Although I do really love Witch Hat Etelier. Oh my god. So fun. One of the most fun that I've had reading stories. If you do like sort of like the Harry Potter stuff, but without maybe a whole lot of that transphobia baggage, you can find that same flavor here. It's a wonderful, beautiful, touching story that I really like. The Deathstroke Omnibus is coming out. Another thing that can be ordered after the final order cutoffs from Lunar. So a lot of this too. If some customers put in some late orders, you know where you can get your stuff at? Why, you can get them at Penguin Random House. A lot of other stuff coming out too. The Immortal Hulk Great Power, trade paperback collects all the various one-shots that have been coming out. The Marvels Project, reprinting the Ed Brubaker prequel to the Marvel Universe-ish series, featuring a lot of the older superheroes. Thor by Jason Aaron, the complete collection. Very excited for that to get into people's hands once more because that run is so good. The Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries Volume 1, collecting the first tales of Batman and Scooby-Doo and the gang teaming up to solve crimes. Spooky crimes. And that's everything. Goodness gracious, my friends. I'm getting punchy. I'm getting sleepy. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a fun time. I might do some more solicitation critique in the future because, y'all, the solicitation is what we use to order your books. If the solicitation doesn't tell us anything, give us a good answer to why we're ordering this. Your book's not going to get ordered. So those books there, they're going to get some token orders. That's how it happens. Some passive stuff. But if you want to connect with the people who are selling your books, because we're the folks in a lot of ways who are selling it for you, you got to do a little bit better. And also, the solicits are out there for everybody. That's what's popping up on your Comixology as well. Why is that person going to click through and get that issue? You need to build that connection and you need to put it in there, especially with the number one. You need a little bit extra. Why is this book happening? And you can't really lose with that. You might not sell as much as you want to, but at least you know that you communicated well. That's a big thing. So thank you all for watching. We're all going to talk again very soon. I'm going to rest up a little bit and then get back to work. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye.